shit. Hey, hey, Gumby. This shit is the funniest. My damn stomach hurts. Okay, here we go. All you highway patrolmen out there wanting to write tickets and be part of these state freaking idiots with the Smokey Bear hats. Okay, suspected DUI pursuit. Now, the California Highway Patrol is in charge of this, and everybody knows the California Highway Patrol is the best law enforcement agency in the land. And they are heading this pursuit, and they're going to catch this DUI driver. Okay, this is pretty freaking funny, people.
Suspect is wanted for DUI and assault on a police officer, and that car was seen speeding more than 100 miles an hour.
Stu Mundell is overhead in Sky 2. Not sure if Stu can hear us, but Stu, go ahead if you can.
I'm laughing because the CHP is so stupid.
We're up here in the Rosemont area, actually Kern County. This is a vehicle pursuit right now. Okay, who's in this car? That's the first question. We're not really sure.
Well, I'll tell you who's in a car. Somebody that's drunk and that's smarter than the CHP. Rick, they had a tough job. They got a right ticket. All right, whatever. All these people defending CHP. Here we go.
Brought us up here to the Antelope Valley was a vehicle driving recklessly earlier on. We heard a second pursuit going on, and this is this is actually the second vehicle that these people were in. Originally, they were in an Optima, a Kia Optima, driving through the desert. They drove off through the desert onto a main road and carjacked this pickup truck by gunpoint. We saw a man and a woman get out of the...
Okay, I haven't seen a gun yet, and they're saying by gunpoint, but this guy could have said, I got a gun, give you a car. So the victim of this carjacking said he told me he had a gun. So now they're putting out he carjacked with a gun. If you're chasing an armed and dangerous person, it kind of sets up a deadly force situation. Luckily, they don't shoot and kill this guy, but this guy makes the CHP look almost as incompetent as they are. They are much more incompetent than this video shows.
That out of the first vehicle, get into this pickup truck, and then continue on the streets. He's been driving.
Okay, if you look right here, they were chasing this guy in this car. He was cutting through the desert. They show a full video later. And as he comes out, this guy stops and just watches him like four-wheeling, driving like an idiot. So he stops and watches, and he goes, geez, I wonder what these guys are. So they pull up next to him, and now he finds out. So he was a victim who parked and was waiting for a place to happen, and he found his spot right there. And then these guys got up and took his car, and he's left standing with their car.
On the roads, off the roads, and again, this is the second vehicle was taken by force with a weapon. Now, who's chasing him? Well, California Highway Patrol has gotten involved.
Ooh, the CHP. They're almost as good as the FBI.
And also the Sheriff's Department up here also involved. Right now, I have a feeling we do have the map up so you guys can actually see the streets that we're on. Also the speeds. Now, this person is basically taking this truck.
Up to the
earlier
good stuff here.
on, he was in a
I'll
Kia
try and put a
driving
link
through the desert, just basically trying to get away from...
I'll try and put a link so you can watch the whole thing.
Officers. The original one descriptions were about the same. They were taking not sure because they had area. Right now, though, we do know for a fact a man and a woman inside this pickup truck watching the smoke trail of that Kia driving through the desert. I'm going to go a little bit wider just to give you an idea where we are.
Okay, you notice the speed right here. At one point, it goes like to 147. So I'm thinking this is the speed the camera is moving. See, ain't nobody going 250 miles an hour. So when they're tracking him directly, he's about 100 miles an hour. But when they speed up, so I'm not sure how good their radar is. Like right now it shows he's 105 because they're pretty much pacing him. The helicopter is going the same speed. I'm assuming. I don't know how they do it. But when it goes to 200, that truck ain't going 200. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the chase to where he crashes.
Information that possibly may contact not police vehicle, as Stu just alluded, Jack, and there we go right there, jumping out of that Optima with a gun drawn and just making this man get out of that pickup truck, which is a good thing.
If he had a gun drawn, I don't know how he grabbed the guy and opened the door. with a gun in his hand. But the news said he had a gun drawn, so it must be true.
Did, and then they just took off across.
West and then miles an hour,
westbound.
luckily see on there. We now
Okay,
know
let's
that-
get back up to Stu.
The reason I say that was, even though we were just watching it drive
Okay,
through
hang
the
on, I'm gonna
desert,
pause it to get to
basically
the
hitting tumbleweed
stuff.
and
Okay, so I bumped up about 6 or 7 minutes, and here we go.
north right now. Again, extremely high speeds. Doesn't seem like there's much out here. I'm looking out the front of the helicopter right now, just trying to get an idea
So if he's
where this road is going to take
to
us.
think
We are
closer.
going up in.
if he's going 100 miles an hour, turns and things come up very quickly. So this is why he crashes. He's going so fast, by the time he sees the road ending, sees a curve, and tries to react, it's too late.
Into the windmills up here in this area, and the road well, off the pavement many times, and with a Kia, for gosh sakes, and nothing against Kia, and now at least he has a four-wheel drive. It appears to be four-wheel drive, marked up as a four-wheel drive pickup truck.
Okay, here's where he loses it. Tries to make a turn.
Looks like a hard turn. Whoa! Straight into the dirt. Hard.
Wow.
Whoa! Now that's a heck of a stop. I'd be surprised if that vehicle is going to be able to do anything. Airbag deployed, at least on the passenger side. A lot of smoke right there. Driver's side door
That's not smoke, that's dust. But anyway, if the news said it's smoke, it must be smoke.
open, and it does appear the driver is out.
Okay, so airbag deployed on passenger side. Pretty hard knock. I don't know if his did. I don't know if they wore their seatbelts. Most people that carjack cars don't take time to put their seatbelts on. Luckily, they didn't stop really hard. They just did, a couple good bumps. So I don't know if one of them's hurt or not. He's still able to run. She looks a little hurt to me.
Right now. Now, you got to remember, this guy is armed. And again, kind of wandering over, checking on his partner right there. A little bit of a hug.
So now he's like, hey, baby, I'm sorry. I love you. If I wouldn't love you, I wouldn't wreck the car and bash your face in. Just hang with me, baby. Don't turn me in. So he's doing his last little love, which a lot of crooks do at the end of pursuit. They want to get their last kiss, their last hug, their last I love you when the cops come up at gunpoint about to shoot them. That's their big priority at the time. So this is pretty much normal behavior.
And but this is definitely coming to an end very, very quick.
Now, it almost looks like he's carrying her. So she might have the breath. But, Rick, women are just as strong as men. Yeah, I know. I know they're just as strong as men. But for some reason, this woman can't run like he can. I don't know why. They're usually just as strong, if not better, than men. But anyway.
Quickly, there's law enforcement. They're on the roadway.
He said law enforcement. He really should have said CHP because there's a difference. Freaking ticket writing. Whatever. I digress. Let's watch the CHP move into action. After all, they had a TV show after them, so they must be good.
They did get some distance, but there
Yeah, we
is
see
no
them.
place for these two to go. And again, though, what a finale there.
Okay, you're not going to get away, guy, if you two are walking like that. But what am I? I mean, I guess I don't have experience. I can't say I've never jumped out of a car and ran from the cops before. Well, maybe as a kid, but that's another story.
That pickup truck, that poor guy that gave up his truck for this. Right now, hands are up. Their demeanor kind of changing up there, but they're not stopping, which just makes this more and more bizarre.
He's
Okay, so while they're over here doing this dust ball, he leaves her. She's back here, and he says, yo, baby, you're slowing me down. I love you, but I got to go. See ya. So he takes off. So he leaves her there. She's like, don't leave me. I love you. All right, whatever. The CHP going to give you some love here.
running
It's-
away
Again,
from
this is
her.
all-
More bizarre than you've got
Yeah,
two
he's-
people. Well, yeah, he's taken off.
Okay, so during out this pursuit, I want you to watch the sun because it looks like it's about 6 o'clock and the sun sets in the west. So they're in California, so it's setting out in the ocean. So you can tell he's running right now because his shadow is directly behind him. He's running westbound. He's running into the sun. Okay? So at first I thought he got confused and I was like, dude, if you want to get away and you know which direction, just either follow the sun or go left or right. You know you're going east or west, or have the sun at your back, when you know you're going eastbound. But anyway, he runs, and I thought maybe the sun was in his eyes on it. We got lost because he starts running in a circle here, which is funny. Hang on, people. This gets funny as hell.
But he's not
taking
running
off into
very
the desert.
fast, and he's not going to get very far at all.
He's not running very fast, but he's making some tracks because the cops have to get her in the cuffs, and if she's hurt, they're going to have to carry her. and one cop isn't going to leave her. There was only 2 police cars, so that means there's probably 2 cops. One of them's not going to leave her or leave him with one person and chase a guy if they think he's armed. So he doesn't have to run fast. He's just got to keep moving and keep creating distance. But that's tough to do with a helicopter unless you're in either thick wooded area or, you know, someplace you can get under a bridge or high rises or something to where you can lose the chopper.
All because we're following him, and Stu's overhead, Chopper's overhead. Very strange.
Okay, so he's still running. Which way, people? The sun's going down. He's running into the sun. He's running westbound, and the power lines is another indicator, terrain features that you can use when you're trying to orientate without a map on which direction. So if he knows the sun's going this way, these power lines are running more north and south than they are east and west, but he still gets lost in circles.
I was trying to ascertain if there were any rest stops in the area, any eateries that they would...
Remember, this guy's drunk, and they stopped him for DUI. So he's so drunk that he can get his car, lose the CHP, steal another car, crash that car, save his girlfriend from the car, and then leave his girlfriend and run away. But Ricky's too drunk to drive. Okay, I'm just, you know, everybody out here, I had some dude attack me the other day and stuff because I said something about drunk driving being big money. It's out of control. And man, he freaking had a meltdown because I guess his kid had been killed by drunk drivers. So he just thinks that anybody that has a sip of alcohol should be under the prison.
There would possibly be more people stopped at. Don't see that.
You know,
Okay, so you notice right here, he was running with the power lines, and now he's curving back away. When I saw this, I'm like, dude, are you that freaking stupid? You're running back to the cops. And then I thought, well, sometimes when guys think they can't get away, they come back and turn themselves in. And then later, when they're in trial, they're like, my client gave himself up, Your Honor. He could have kept running. He turned around and gave himself up. So when he turned around, I was like, okay, maybe he felt bad he left his girlfriend. Maybe he's feeling the pain from the accident. Maybe he's going back to say, you know what, I'm going to turn myself in. Or he's just a complete dumb and he's lost. He's running in circles. I was like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Go ahead.
Thank goodness there isn't. You know, we guys got one person running around out here in the desert. You know, these get more and more unusual as the days go by. This one definitely going to be in the books for sure. But this guy just basically running and it looks like he's making his way back to the truck. Yeah. He's going in circles. It's amazing that the officers and
Okay, so now you see a shadow is behind him. He's going away from the sun. Which way is he going, people? Rick, I'm a liberal. I don't know. Which way is he going? Well, that's because you're an idiot. All right.
I'm not saying this in any kind of bad way. The officers didn't see him circle back, giving up that truck, making his way, looks like, back towards the roadway.
Okay. As soon as this thing fanned out, I started laughing. I was like, oh my God, don't tell me these dummies left their keys in the car. Okay, hang on. The CHP on the scene, taking control, protecting you, protecting and serving the shit out of you with tickets, bringing you some justice every day.
Running towards the officers. I am praying that they did not leave their keys.
Well, your prayers are going in unanswered, dude.
Because this might just be continuing on here. But these the California.
So here I am thinking this guy, okay, he's too drunk to drive. We need the CHP to save us. He's already lost him twice and hijacked a car. Now he's left his girlfriend. Now he's running around in a circle. Maybe he is drunk. Maybe he's not too freaking. You know, this is a good defense to drunk driving to prove that he wasn't that drunk if he was able to do all this. Although outsmarting a CHP, you can be pretty drunk and still do it.
Highway Patrol, smart cookies in general, and seeing what's going to happen
doing?
here.
Oh, no.
Oh,
this
no.
did not happen.
But wait, people, this is a CHP that saw the dude get in the car, and he's so much of an incompetent buffoon. He sees the guy in civilian clothes get in the car as he's pulling up. He don't even know he's a suspect. He lets him drive right by him and gets away. Somebody play the Chips movie.
Oh,
dun, 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 dun.
No.
Suspect has
did
now
not
commandeered a
happen.
CHP
He's
car.
in a...
Those didn't even
This
see.
is-
Those CHP officers must have tried to render aid to the woman who was on her hands and knees.
Oh, look at the news covering up for CHP. The CHP left their car to render. They weren't rendering it. They wanted to beat the hell out of the dude for running. They were running because they wanted to get a ticket. This is the most excitement they've had from writing little old blue hairs in a school zone for going 1 mile over the speed limit.
Knees, both leading.
So the CHP says, gee, I saw a civilian get in a marked unit and now he's chasing me, but I'm going over here with the officer. I wonder where that guy's going. Hey, you big dummy. Maybe that's the guy that stole your car. What a freaking cluster. Are you kidding me?
Definitely. And there's another officer that's just clueless. He doesn't even know.
Yeah, well, clueless and CHP. I mean, it is the first letter of their freaking CHP identifier.
Doesn't know.
Oh, this is...
Do they
doesn't know.
Wait a minute. Was that white vehicle a law
That was a
enforcement
CHP vehicle. Definitely,
But he
definitely
drove right.
CHP.
He
It was
saw
another
him.
CHP for backup. He probably did not see this suspect getting in the vehicle. The only thing
Okay, which way's he going, people? We'll make this how to figure out your direction with the sun. Which way's he going? Come on. Sun's to his left, setting in the west. He must be northbound.
I can hope right now is that I know my pilot, Captain Killian, is going to be making some calls to some other aircraft that are not in the area, but maybe they can relay this, and hopefully there's at least some law enforcement watching right now that can get a hold of whatever division. I'm not sure if this is Newhall way out here, but whoever this California Highway Patrol division is, get some information to them to get them to know that they're being...
Okay, sorry about that. I was talking to one of my Facebook admin guys. Think Like Cop Facebook. Hey, man, if you guys do that, that's probably a good way to pass on videos to me, because a lot of guys post some really good videos there on the Facebook page. It's Think Like Cop. And if you're going to enter and your Facebook is locked down, I asked 3 questions. So just answer the questions so we can tell that you're a viewer. I can tell when they're trying to BS me if they say they're a viewer or if they don't. You guys who've been watching me, you know what to say in order for me to review your questions to let you in the group. So if your page is locked down, now if your page has been up for 2 years and I open it up and it's got 3%er, Oath Keeper, Patriot, screw the government, all that crap, then I just approve you. I don't really care if you watch or not. So the only way that we can kind of filter out so we don't get a bunch of freaking crybaby and trolls is if you give us a lockdown page and you don't answer the questions, then we just disapprove you. All right. So anyway, back to this chase here.
Hard on the brakes. Don't know why, because
really
it's a turnaround. He's got to go back to where he came from.
Driver.
This is
Now
going
he's turning around.
That the government had to stop him.
This is going to be something. I've got to be very careful with my camera work because I'd like to keep my job. Because at the end here, he's going to have to drive by where he was unless he tries to take a dirt road, which
that's
apparently
what he's
he is.
Okay, so the way he's driving now, I can't tell if he's drunk or if he's panicking, because he gets really high speeds on this dirt. And when you're driving fast and starts fishtailing, I'll just mute this so we can see it. When you're driving fast on dirt, it's kind of like driving on what we do the skid pan when you're going through EVOC or emergency vehicle driving. They put you on a skid pan with oil and water on concrete, and you have to drive really fast, and you scan, and you practice your oversteer and understeer and how to gain control and how to turn into the turn and all that. Well, he does that on this dirt road a lot because he's going so fast, he starts fishtailing, and he almost loses it a few times. Like right here, I don't know why the hell he went off the road. I think he tried to stop and just slid off. But when you start losing traction, speed is not your friend. Water, snow, slick ice, dude, you got to slow down or you're going to fishtail and lose it. And that's what cops go through when we go through our training on a skid pad, is it simulates when you throw oil and water on the ground of slick concrete, man, your tires get no traction. So it simulates high speed, what happens, and your car will swing left and right and you'll go in circles. Well, you can regain when you're on a skid pan, but when you're going 80, 90 miles an hour, it's very difficult to regain, and that's how you end up spinning out. So everybody knows what's happening. CHP is a CHP car driven by a guy too drunk to drive that CHP tried to stop is being chased by well, actually not being chased by CHP. They don't even know they lost their car yet. They're like, dude, what happened to my car? Oh, man, that must be that new transport thing they got. I think Scotty beamed that shit up to the Enterprise. But anyway, all right, right here, a little losing control. See how he kind of spun out? That's kind of what you do on a skid pad. It's just you don't need to get up to 80 miles an hour to do it. You can do it at 20 miles an hour. So he goes on through here, and I mean, this chase is what? How long? 30 minutes. So I'm going to jump ahead to where he ends up crashing. Oh, okay. So right about here.
Yeah.
So he's going pretty fast.
They end up catching him, and they start getting. I think they get the chopper.
That's a solo.
Okay, so on this CHP, he pulls in front of him, doesn't block the road, because in California, you're not allowed to set up what's called blocking or battering rams or roadblocks. Those are illegal because that's considered deadly force. So deadly force, is it authorized on this guy? You know what? If they shot him, they'd be proved justified. But technically, this guy ran from the cops, and he's not endangering anybody out here on dirt roads. So can they justify shooting him? Well, if this cop would have ran in front of him with his gun and say he was going to run him over and he'd have shot him, they would have ruled it justified. I think this guy did okay. He set from the side, tried to stop the guy. He gave the guy a path. Maybe he was trying to direct him back to where the CHP. I don't think he's that smart. I think he just got scared. He saw the guy and he got out of his car, and then the guy drove past him. And I don't remember what part they showed when he drove by him.
And, there you go.
Right there.
There you go. And this is what.
Okay, he's just scared. He's behind his car. He's like, shit, man. I just had like 2 Krispy Kreme chocolate-filled donuts. I don't want to be like getting shot and have that leak out of my belly. So he's hiding behind his car, and he lets the guy turn. He doesn't direct him anywhere. He's just hiding. CHP's good at hiding.
That's a solo officer with no backup.
Solo officer by himself with no backup, and there's another.
He's not solo, and he's not by himself. There's another unit there. But anyway, if the news said he's by himself, he's by himself.
Another
vehicle right there. So they are getting into place right now. And, with this type of activity, they will get, I'm sure they're going to get a little aggressive trying to bring this to a stop.
Yeah.
Why would they need to get aggressive? The guy's running around on dirt roads. He's lost. He's not going anywhere.
Stolen police cruiser, they might pit him in. There is no reason not to pit that vehicle out here, maybe even at higher speeds. But
That's
again,
right,
dirt roads out here, and
don't have to worry about anybody else out there.
In pursuit.
They don't have to worry about any other
true.
vehicles on the road. And if you want
See, Stu, is that if he does directly at you, and they.
Yeah, hopefully that's not the case. And I just see some fencing right there, and I just don't want anybody else to get involved. Looks like
where he's going.
Man, these guys are like pretty far back. They're probably not used to chasing one of their own vehicles. They're probably like, oh, that's our unit. They're confused. They keep thinking that's our unit. Where's the bad guy? He's driving your unit, you big dummy.
But he's staying away from that residence. Continuing on, again, the speed's really not that fast. Dirt roads out here, it's probably very bumpy.
Okay, so I got 3 units, 1 down here at the bottom and 2 over here, and the helicopter. Guy's not getting away.
Even though it looks like it's not, more officers joining the chase right now.
Yeah, they're going to pin him in.
Oh, yeah, they pinned him in good. Woo, man, those CHP, they're good. They just pinned him right in.
Going to pin this guy in and bring this thing to an end. Either that or he's going to get stuck. Looks like that road right there at least kind of maintained. Looks like it's been plowed recently. So made his way back onto that road right there. That's going to be Aqueduct. And now still working his way out here on these dirt roads. But the officers, they're starting to close in. Another one actually getting out of his
This guy was going at him, said, oh, shit. He didn't even know this was a bad guy. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys in a little secret. He thought this was another CHP unit. He's like, shit, I know this is another CHP unit. Those guys are freaking crazy. I better get the hell out of the way. He doesn't even know it's a bad guy. But even if he does know it's a bad guy, he got the hell out of the way and said, man, I don't want no part of this. I just, I'm just out here to collect my pension, eat my donuts.
Way.
Yeah.
So he's going very fast.
Woo, man, that was a great stop.
Some more information. There might be some more information here than we are all privy.
Yeah, I'll give you more information. CHP is a bunch of incompetent buffoons. That's your more information.
Got their
at this point. He's not endangering anybody else. Why not wait until you have enough backup that you can do this properly? As long as he doesn't get into a populated area where he puts somebody else in danger, they might as well just...
Or stuck.
Yeah, or get stuck. They might as well marshal their forces and make sure that they have enough men and women to do the job.
Yeah, we definitely need more men and women out there to do the job. Okay.
And if I may be so bold, I mean, he's already made some boneheaded moves.
Oh, he said,
Otherwise,
"No,
he
no."
wouldn't be out there.
Yes.
So he's going to do it again, and hopefully it's that kind of move that puts them in the position to take this guy into custody.
Yeah.
Of course, nightfall will be coming in about an hour or so, but really you see a lot of bushes, besides those outhouses that we
You bring up a
saw.
good point, Pat. Nightfall out there is pitch
Look how
black.
fast he's going now, Stu.
He's going about. He was up. I was just about to bring the map back up because he was pushing 80 miles an hour here on that dirt road, and
80 miles an hour on a dirt road is pretty fast. That's like 80 miles an hour on road with ice, because you're not getting a whole lot of traction. It's easy to fishtail and lose it, oversteer, understeer.
in any kind of swerving, you don't. No matter how good of a vehicle that is, 80 miles an hour on a dirt road, you start getting a little swervy, it's going to end badly, and that's maybe that's going to be the best out. And maybe this here on this dirt out the window, away from tack, just touching it, boots are getting back, making his way
To attack.
The only thing
I'm
working
trying to bump
against the
up
CHP there, as
I think it's about
I
to
said,
come
there's
in.
just no ambient lighting. So it's going to be difficult for them at that point. Obviously, they'll probably bring more than
Or they
one
take
air
the
unit
second
out
vehicle.
to light that up.
Well, they'll light him up if he doesn't have.
I was blessed to tell you if there's maybe they put out some spike strips.
Okay, so right here is where it's going to come to an end. I think these two chippies here put out spike strips, and he knew it, so he tries to cut across, and now he's going to hit a ditch.
Maybe, yeah. He's a little
There he
late
goes again.
tossing him out there,
Going back
so he's just going to drive
four-wheeling.
off into the dirt, back to that four-wheel and stuff. And every time he does that, I'm thinking this is where he's going to get that thing stuck.
And we call that a ditch. This is a ditch for those people who've never ran a car into one.
But he's been
The old saying, don't run it into the ditch. This is what they're talking about.
lucky every time.
There's a
And a little
culvert.
bit of a dip right there, and
There it
that's
is.
it. That's it right
see?
there. And there you go,
Bonehead.
officers. Look at that. Look at that. Right out of the car.
Oh, you're
and,
done.
And onto the.
Notice he doesn't have his Smokey the Bear hat on, and there's that reflection of the sun. Rick, you can't say that. You're just... Oh, be quiet, you big crybabies.
That's
You're
it.
done.
Fastest surrender I've ever seen.
Boneheaded move.
Yes.
He couldn't.
In the
Like I said.
culvert.
I don't think that officer had time to even give
Yep.
him the command.
Okay, so where I want to go here is how the government-run media protects law enforcement instead of protecting the citizen. This guy got out, laid down, and he gave up. There's no reason to use any more force than necessary. If he puts his hand, the chase is over. As a cop, I saw this a lot. Cops can't turn it down once the chase is over, once the fight is over. They still want to be angry and react and beat up somebody that can't fight back, and it irritates me. You're going to see a cop come in and kneel on this guy's head when there's absolutely zero reason for him to do that.
Yeah, the Red Eagle, one off, and of course, this is an armed suspect, so they're going to be a very.
He's got arms. He's not armed. Both arms are out, and his palms are up. He's compliant. He has given up. He's not running. You can't beat him up because he ran, because he stole your car. You can't do all those things and use the government power in order to take your revenge on this guy, or you're not supposed to. You can because of media like this. Notice this good picture we have? Watch them fade out and move away when the cops get there.
Very careful about taking him into custody, but it might not have been that spectacular ending that some people.
Okay, notice that he put his gun away. He walked in front of this guy, so there's no worry because they both don't have their guns out because they're going to cuff the guy. And he put his hands voluntarily behind his back.
At home, and God bless them all for wanting to see it.
Okay, so he's kneeling on him. I don't have a problem with that. Keep him on the ground so he doesn't resist or roll over. But these guys have it in custody. These two guys that come up, one of them runs to his head and kneels on his head, and the freaking corrupt news media pans out so we can't see what's happening.
But definitely the ending we wanted to see. This guy going into custody, the vehicle just disabled, not wrecked, and definitely nobody else.
Watch these guys get out of this car and tell me if they aren't jacked up, pissed off, and looking for revenge. There's 3 cops. They've got it. There is no need for these two. Watch these guys, the way they get out of their car and run over to this guy.
Injured in this wild pursuit up here in the Antelope Valley.
Boy, what would be
Oh, yeah, I want to get me some. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to get this dude. How dare you run from me? There's 3 cops holding him down. He ain't fighting, no resistance. Nobody's asking for help. Watch this scooter go kneel on his neck, and then watch the media just accidentally pan away. I'm sure it wasn't intentional.
Sweet justice, if that officer in the white car was the same officer that drove by.
Kneeling on his neck. Really? Is that necessary? Hell no. It's not necessary, and it's not needed, and it's BS.
Him in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be.
All right.
We haven't had a chance here to tell you.
How long does it take to get handcuffs on? They've had 3 officers there for over 30 seconds. Put the damn handcuff. Why do you need more cops surrounding this guy and the media just happens
You're
to
watching
pan out?
CBS
Watch
2
this.
News at 6 p.m. We've been following this pursuit from our 5 o'clock news across the top of the hour. And Pat, this has been one for the records.
That's for sure. You know, in all of this, I'm
cops.
sure that
Gee, I
the
wonder what's
woman
gonna happen.
who
We
jumped
need more
out of the
cops
vehicle
around the guy.
first,
Oh,
or who
man,
ran
we just went to a
with
little
him
picture.
and actually stopped
Darn.
and they apprehended. She
Wonder
must
what's
be in
going on down
one of
there.
those cruisers there. We haven't
I would
seen.
imagine.
Oh, let's show something
since
we've already
that
shown
happened
4
about,
times
a half hour
instead
ago.
of how
He
these
and
officers,
the driver, the suspect,
instead of how these officers are actually conducting this in custody, that guy that gave up. Let's show something we've already shown 4 freaking times. You know, this is the crooked news media that protects government, and the reason why tyrannical government just gets more tyrannical. Anyway, 31 minutes. Wow. All right, we'll end that there. I'll put a link for the whole thing